Hello, Mark Crossfield here. More questions coming at you. This one about strong winds. Let's get stuck in. So Ron asks, how to play on a course when it's very windy? How do I know how much the wind affects the ball? Good question. I actually haven't seen any of the studies. I'm sure there are studies done on if you actually measure how fast the wind is, how many clubs that will add to your shots. For me, it's much more through trial and error. I've played a lot in wind. Playing down in Devon here on links courses, it's windy 9 times out of 10. So I've learned if it's this windy, I can hit this shot and I lose X distance. Because what happens when you're playing in the wind, you want to be able to try and alter the trajectory of the ball. And the way you're going to do that is by presenting different lofts at impact. So different dynamic lofts, taking loft off, adding loft on, downwind into the wind, those kind of things. And you need to be able to take that loft off and add that loft without particularly manipulating the face too much in what we call a pointing to the right, pointing to the left, open or closed kind of position, which is getting on your range. Next time you go and practice without the wind, just practice manipulating the height of the ball. Change your ball position, change how much you lean your hands forwards, change where your weight positions feel, and just see how that manipulates the ball. It's a great way for when you do get on the course and there's a lot of wind and you want to hit one low, where you know what you have to do to hit the ball low because you've practiced that on the range. And then you can do that. One thing I do a lot in the wind and learned to do as playing a lot in the wind is I would always try and take a lot of club and then try and hit it softer. So almost 2 or 3 clubs too much, and then actually try and hit it softer to try and almost feel like I'm taking spin off, so I'm just hitting it through the wind a bit more. I see a lot of amateurs try and hit the ball much harder, so normal loft, hit the ball really hard into the wind, pick their club out speed up, which sometimes can increase spin and the ball's just ballooning in the air. So this is a 7-iron, let's say it was a 9-iron distance. I would go ball slightly back in my stance, handle leaning forwards, maybe down the grip, and then I would actually just hit kind of like a gentle pitch forward, keeping the ball really low, knowing I've got plenty of club just to cut through that wind. Left and rights are made very hard in strong wind as well, so wind off the left, wind off the right. Any kind of miss hit, so if you're not hitting the middle of the blade, what happens is you get this thing called gear effect, which can tilt the spin axis either way, so what you know is draw spin and fade spin. So if you've got the wind off the right and you just hit that ball slightly off the toe, which is always going to tilt, as a general rule, to tilt the spin axis more to the left, say with neutral club path numbers, then that wind's going to increase that turn, so it's literally going to just push the ball in the air. So you're going to miss left purely out of missing strikes. So the best thing to do, and this is easier said than done, is when you're playing in strong winds, keep it out of that wind as much as possible, keep it low, or rely on some really good quality striking. You'll be amazed when you strike the ball out in the middle of the bat, how little the ball can move on strong winds, subject to those slight miss hits. But it's understanding that if you're someone who does use the face a lot, then your goal, your kind of aim, your attack plan should be just to take lots of clubs, and just hit them softer, keep that ball going in low. Don't even play with getting it up in that air and letting that wind push the ball off to the left or to the right. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching, guys, but the wind is always a difficult condition to play in. Just the other thing you can do as well, actually, is lower your expectations. I've played in tournaments where I've gone round in 5 over thinking, well, that's not going to be anywhere, and no one else has bettered it. You know, I'm leading or kind of in the top 10 because everyone has found it equally as hard and has struggled out there, where I thought, cool, well, I didn't think it was actually that hard, I just didn't feel like I was playing that well. And actually the wind has leveled it a lot more. So lower those expectations is always a good thing as well, because the scores will go up if the wind blows hard. Thanks for watching. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments, love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show, get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.